My dear friends, welcome to Rajshekar classes on Applied Data Science with Python. This is lecture number 337. In this lecture, I will continue my discussion on bias and variance trade-off in the context of naive-Bayes classification algorithm. Before understanding this algorithm, I request you to go through my previous lectures. Now, let me proceed. I already discussed case 1 in my previous lecture, that is in lecture number 336. In this lecture, we will try to understand case 2. What is my case 2? Case 2 is when alpha is large. I can say when alpha is very large. When alpha is very large, what happens? You take probability of any word wi. Let me say wi is ith word. Probability of any word wi given y equal to 1. Let me assume probability of wi given y equal to 1 is 2 by 1000. Yes, let it be. It's a simple assumption. Now what I have to do? Here my alpha is very large. As I assumed alpha is very large, let me say my alpha is 10,000. If alpha is 10,000, what happens? I must add in the numerator, I must add 2 plus this plus alpha. Here I must add alpha. In denominator, I must add k alpha. That is Laplace smoothing, isn't it? As k equal to 2, isn't it? Then here in the numerator, I am adding 10,000 and in denominator, I am adding 20,000. Isn't it? Again, I am adding 20,000 as my k is 2 because my wi, my word can take only two values, either 0 or 1. How many possibilities are there? There are only two possibilities. Therefore, our k equal to 2. Let's not forget that. I am only taking simple case of text. Probability of wi given yi equal to 1. That is, how can I write? The numerator I must write 2 plus, if we speak strictly, what it is? This is 2 plus 10k and this is 1000 plus 20k, isn't it? Which is approximately equal to, it is approximately equal to 1 by 2. Now what happens is, when alpha becomes very large, my probability of wi given y equal to 1 is equal to probability of wi, it is approximately equal to probability of wi given y equal to 1 is approximately equal to probability of wi given y equal to 0, which is equal to 1 by 2, isn't it? Again, this happens for all words. This model given any query point, let me say, excuse my query point, given any query point, probability of yq equal to 1 given any query point xq is approximately equal to probability of yq equal to 0 given xq, which is equal to 1 by 2. My model cannot distinguish given a query point. The model cannot say whether it is belongs to class 1 or class 0 very well. This is the case of underfitting. Remember, even in KNN, I request all of you to go through KNN lectures on overfitting and underfitting. Let me recall, even in k nearest neighborhood algorithm, when k equal to n, every query point, when k equal to n, every query point is given the same class label. Here also what happens, when alpha is large, when alpha is very large, probability of y equal to 1 for given w1, w2, so on wd, which is equal to probability of y equal to 1 multiplied by pi I equal to 1 to d, probability of wi y equal to 1. What does it mean? What is this w1, w2, so on wd? This one is query point, isn't it? It's XQ. Probability of y equal 1 given XQ. My XQ query can have words. Let me assume my query has D words, isn't it? Now remember, I must calculate both of them. Probability of y equal to 1 for given word and probability of y equal to 0 for given W1, W2, so on WD, which is equal to probability of y equal to 0 say into I equal to pi I equal to 1 to D probability of Wi given y equal to 0. Probabilities, I can say likelihood probabilities. Which one is likelihood probabilities here? These are the likelihood probabilities. This one is likelihood probabilities. Yes, likelihood probabilities roughly equal to 1 by 2. This likelihood probability is roughly equal to 1 by 2 and this likelihood probability is roughly equal to 1 by 2. In KNN, what happens when k equal to n? Just refer my previous lectures on KNN. In KNN, what happens when k equal to n? If you have let's say n1 positive points, let me assume like this, let me say n1 positive points and let me write it once here. Yes, let me say if you have let's say n1 positive points. Yes, n1 positive points. N1 positive points, let me assume N2 negative points. N1 positive points, N2 negative points. Let's assume N1 is greater than N2. What happens? I will repeat. In KNN, what happens when you have k equal to n? I am discussing about KNN. If you have n1 positive points and n2 negative points, let's assume n1 is greater than n2. Then what happens? xq is given, means query point is given. Let me say xq is given, that query point is given positive label. This query point will be assigned positive label. This query point will be assigned positive label because, what's the reason? Because n1 is greater than n2. Why? Because you have more positive points, and this is what we called it as underfitting in KNN. Exactly same thing happened here. Since all of them roughly equal to half, just see my previous one. This one is roughly equal to half. This one is roughly equal to half. This one is roughly equal to half, isn't it? Same thing happen here, since all of this likelihood probability is roughly equal to half. When you are comparing these two, which one we are comparing? At the end of the day, what you have to do? You have to compare these two. Probability of y equal to 1 for given query point xq, probability of y equal to 0 for given query point. These two things I must compare, isn't it? Therefore, when you compare these two probabilities, that is probability of y equal to 1 and probability of y equal to 0 for given query point, at the end of the day we have to compare. When we compare these two probabilities, these probabilities means which probabilities I have to compare. If I compare these two probabilities, now I can say probability of Wi given y equal to 1 and probability of Wi for given y equal to 0 are roughly equal. These two probabilities are equal. These two probabilities are equal, isn't it? Now it's all boils down to, I will repeat, now it all boils down to probability of y equal to 1. It's boiled down to this particular point now, as the two probabilities are equivalent. Let me say this is boiled down to probability of y equal to 1, probability y equal to 0. Why? Because this one is 1 by 2, this one is 1 by 2. Now I need not bother about that particular number. Now it all boils down to probability of y equal to 1 and probability of y equal to 0. Let's assume I have n data points. As I told you, let me assume I have n data points. Let it be like this. I have n data points. Let me say I have n data points. N1 of them are positive, N1 of them are positive and N2 of them are negative. Let it be. Probability of y equal to 1. What is your probability of y equal to 1? Well, how many y equal to 1 means positive class label. How many favorable cases? N1. What is the total? There are n points, therefore probability of y equal to 1 is n1 by n. What about probability of y equal to 0? How many favorable cases? Negative n2. Total number of points is n, isn't it? If n1 is greater than n2, if n1 is greater than n2, if n1 is a majority class, if you have more points from positive class, then what will happen? Then probability of y equal to 1 is probability. What will happen? Then probability of y equal to 1 is larger than, is probability of y equal to 1. If it is the case, probability of y equal to 1 is larger than probability of, it is larger than probability of y equal to 0. For any query point xq, my naive Bayes will say that my yq is equal to 1, isn't it? Or majority class. For given query point xq, my naive Bayes always gives yq equal to 1. Isn't it? Its label is 1. Why? Because there are more positive points. Exactly what happens in Kn when k equal to n or k becomes large. Same thing we have seen in k nearest neighborhood algorithm. We saw this when k becomes large in k nearest neighborhood algorithm. For every query point xq, you are declaring class which has more points. Exactly same thing happened here. If positive class has more than negative class, given query point xq, we will declare it as its yq equal to 1, that is positive class. If negative class has more than positive class points, given a query point xq, we will declare it as its yq equal to 0, that is negative class. As alpha becomes very large, we have problem of underfitting. Underfitting basically means, what is the meaning of underfitting? Underfitting means what? Underfitting basically means high bias. That's what I discussed in my previous lecture. Underfitting means what? Underfitting means, it is basically means, I can say it is high bias. It is high bias, isn't it? So what was the case? What is the case 1? What was the case 1? In case 1, what we discussed, case 1 is alpha equal to 0. Alpha equal to 0 means overfitting. Alpha equal to 0 means what? That's what I discussed in my previous lecture. What does it mean? It is, I can say it is high variance problem. I can say it is high variance problem. That's what I discussed in my previous lecture, that is in lecture number 336. So the bias variance trade-off all depends on alpha equal to 0. So now it depends on alpha value, I can say. So now the immediate question is how to find right alpha. This is genuine question, isn't it? How to find right alpha. This is important point, isn't it? Just recall my k nearest neighborhood algorithm. Yes, right k. We discussed about how to find k. We can find right k using either by simple cross validation or tenfold cross validation. Exactly similarly, we find right alpha. Exactly similarly, we can find right alpha. We find right and appropriate alpha using simple cross validation or tenfold cross validation. So remember, alpha in I can say alpha in naive Bayes. Remember, alpha in naive Bayes, k in KNN. K in k nearest neighborhood algorithm. K in KNN, both of them are called, this alpha and k, both of them are called hyperparameters. Hyperparameters, isn't it? Both of them are called hyperparameters. They are called hyperparameters, and all hyperparameters in any model are decided because they decide whether you are going to underfit. These hyperparameters decide whether you are going to underfit, whether you are going to underfit or overfit. Depending on the values of hyperparameter, your model will be underfit or overfit. These hyperparameters helps us decide whether is the right model. In most cases, most machine learning algorithms, the right hyperparameters are decided using cross validation, because we will see why they are called hyperparameters. When we learn logistic regression, we will learn what are the parameters, hyperparameters in more detail when you learn other algorithms. Okay, but here alpha controls, I can say alpha controls. Here alpha controls bias variance trade-off. Bias and variance trade-off. Alpha controls bias variance trade-off. Yes. Similarly, K controls bias variance. Similarly, K controls bias variance trade-off. K controls bias variance trade-off. Bias variance trade-off in K nearest neighborhood algorithm. Yes, these two and these parameters, this alpha and K, are known as hyperparameters. As I told you, we will discuss in detail about these two hyperparameters or about hyperparameters in my future classes. Time being, just understand alpha in Naive classification algorithm is known as hyperparameter. K in K nearest neighborhood algorithm is known as hyperparameter. Depending on these hyperparameter controls bias and variance trade-off. Yes, depending on their values, we can say whether model is underfit or overfit. Just go through this lecture. If you have any difficulty, please keep a comment. Thank you very much.